Attorney Jonathan Elson, reminding you that if you've been injured in an auto accident, it's important to have somebody on your side. When you need a lawyer,
then you need Nelson.
Earlier this month, Brandon Schneider appeared in court following 3 of his 27 open cases. During this hearing, Schneider appeared in front of the Honorable Judge Robert Lane. Schneider is a former MMA fighter, also known by the stage name The Brute, and he has many previous encounters with law enforcement. One of those cases he was in the courtroom for this month.
And with MMA fighting comes multiple head injuries and head trauma. And there are things that impact your personality after you've been hit in the head one too many times. And I'm not saying Brandon didn't, he did a phenomenal job, but in training and fights, there's damages and injury that happen to the brain. And sadly, part of his journey through this life included he was injured, he had pain, and he turned to drugs to assist him. At first they were illegal, at first they were prescription, and then it came to where the prescription drugs were not enough, and then he went to illegal drugs.
Back in March of 2020, Schneider was arrested for assault with a deadly weapon and resisting a public officer. In 2020, deputies were dispatched to a report of a domestic, where the victim, Jamie Schneider, stated that Brandon Schneider came to her house and was very angry. He backed his vehicle up and advanced towards her at a high rate of speed while she was standing in her driveway. She then realized that he was not going to stop and started running away to avoid getting hit. Brandon then hit her fence and sped off after the incident. Jamie stated that he was also forcefully grabbing her hands and was intentionally trying to hit her. A voluntary witness who allegedly saw everything happen says that this statement is reportedly true. Once Brandon Schneider was located, he was immediately put under arrest, and then he allegedly became very upset and started yelling that he would rather deputies shoot him instead of taking him back to jail. During the hearing this month, Schneider's attorney Kelly Blatnick stood and spoke about Schneider's well-being, and that at the correction center, Brandon had a mental evaluation completed that showed that Brandon was allegedly salvageable. Blatnick continues to discuss how there was a part of Schneider's life that was being controlled by drugs, allegedly because of the mother of his child not co-parenting with him. Following Blatnick speaking, she allowed Schneider to stand and add his comment. Schneider stood to say that he was really emotional and apologizes for his attitude. He also continued to say that he wanted to move forward with his life. Judge Lane then asks the state to speak. The district attorney begins to talk about how he believes Schneider should receive maximum time for his crimes, and brings the victim to the stand to give her testimony.
Someone can even be here after someone threatens your life and says that they want to kill you and strangles you and puts their knee in their neck. And I'm lucky that I'm still here for my daughters. It has been emotional. And being harassed by Brandon Schneider and followed everywhere I go. I have to have my mom or my dad or my sister or my brother-in-law or someone with me all the time when he was out, because he would just show up wherever I was and cause a scene. I could be at Walmart, there he is yelling at me in front of my girls, and everyone's looking.
Brandon Schneider was sentenced to 28 to 72 months in prison for case 1 of assault with a deadly weapon, 28 to 72 months in prison for domestic coercion, and 12 to 30 months for case 3 of possession of a firearm.